Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our conjunction series, and today we're going to be covering our three planetary conjunction of Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn, and what happens when Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn are in your horoscope conjunct. Now, if you do not know exactly how far apart this conjunction is in your horoscope, if you have this conjunction, all the other planetary placements, all your full astrological informations, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunctions, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn conjunction. Well, first of all, what is Moon? Moon is our happiness, what makes us feel happy, comfortable. It's our mother's womb, it's our mother's cradle, mother's nourishment. Moon is also the mind, because we always think in our mind what can make us feel happy. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is our morals. Jupiter is our defined principles. Jupiter is the higher wisdom, the higher philosophy. Jupiter is our gurus, our teachers. The astrologers we meet is Jupiter. Jupiter is that wisdom. Jupiter is the significator of children. Jupiter is the significator of finance. All the big celebrations that happen in our life is controlled by Jupiter. Then comes Saturn. Saturn represents work, ethics, discipline, organization, structure. Saturn is routine, repetitive work, whether for social welfare, social reform, whether being a servant, public servant, using big machines. Saturn wants to stand by the right thing and do the right thing. So what happens when these three planets are conjunct? Now, the meaning that I'm going to tell you is literally the 50% meaning. Why? Because the other 50% relies on what sign this conjunction is occurring in. What house this conjunction is occurring in. What houses are these planets controlling in your horoscope? We don't know. What nakshatra these planets are sitting in? We don't know. Nakshatra meaning the 27 lunar mansions, as they call it in Western astrology. And also we don't know what degrees that these planets are at. You know, like Moon and Jupiter could be tightly conjunct. Saturn could be at 29 degrees, far apart. So those things, have to be looked at for a true judgment and meaning of a conjunction. But what this does, it sets a person with a certain principle. This person is a very principled person. We don't care if it's good principle or bad principle. They are very set on their principle. The ideas in the mind are very conservative. They are very cultured ideas. Their ideology revolves around discipline, organization, a structured religion, a structured method of doing things. So what happens is that these people, whenever they are in the world working, whether they're policemen, judges, engineers, artists, their way of working is towards a certain principle, meaning that they believe in a certain principle, and because of those principles, they're working. So if they're a policeman with this principle, it doesn't matter if you are going 5 miles over limit on a freeway, they will give you a ticket. They're like, no, principle is you're not supposed to go beyond 70 miles an hour. You are 75, here's your ticket. They feel like everybody needs to follow this particular religion, this particular group. So if you're a judge and somebody, let's say you believe you're a hardcore conservative with this conjunction, as a judge, you will not allow, let's say, a gay or lesbian couple to be together. You're like, no, you're going to find some loophole and say, no, this is not allowed. Kind of like what's happening, right, with Kim Davis thing in Kentucky. Those of you who live in the United States, these are very conservative views. So the mind believes in this higher principle. Mind believes in this higher ideology that is very set in stones. Now, their ideology may go from believing hardcore in their religion to believing in their gang. Doesn't matter. They can be in the most notorious gang. And they're like, that's it. This is my family. This is it. I'm going to die for them. I'm going to, sell drugs for them. Whatever I have to do, I have to make a hit for them. But these becomes the set principles. And it's very hard for this person or anybody else to convince this person that there's something beyond this conservative structure of the world. Because we have other planets in this universe, in this solar system. We have Mercury, Mars, Venus, we have Uranus, Neptune, Rahu, Ketu. All these planets play those liberal, moderate parts. So a person with this conjunction needs to realize that there's something beyond their scope of thinking. They're beyond their scope of belief. They're beyond their scope of rules and regulation. But for this person, the best thing would be to be in a structured environment where laws and principles which are set in stones that they have learned are followed. So again, they will do very well in government. They will do very well in being a police officer, soldier, priest, somebody who's a spiritual religious leader, or somebody who's just want to work in their own boundaries. Like, so let's say if you're Hindu, you're hardcore Hindu, everything is with Hindu. Then instead of dealing with people who may be Christians, Jewish, Muslims, Buddhist, where your ideology is coming against theirs and you just cannot work, then you might just want to stick to this small little world of yours. But as much as Jupiter brings us that hope, that higher belief, at the same time, Saturn is overshadowing that with these strict principles. So your higher beliefs will be like, wow, I wish everybody in this world could be a Christian. I wish everybody in this world could be a Muslim. I wish everybody wasn't gay or lesbian. So you think that's the way it should be, but it's not. This is when you learn astrology, you realize that the beliefs that we have are not the most correct beliefs, and these beliefs can coexist with other beliefs. That's what astrology, the spiritual side of astrology, teaches us. Like, okay, fine. I believe in gay marriage and lesbian marriage. You don't believe in gay marriage or lesbian marriage. You know what? We both can exist. We both can go out to lunch and have a good time. This is your belief. Just, live in that world. Let my beliefs be my belief. Let me be free. So that's how this approach to life needs to be. Now, of course, if one of the planets is exalted, if one of the planets is debilitated, can really show that extreme of things. Either extreme liberalism or extreme conservatism. And that's where the mind, because remember, Moon is a very soft planet. Moon really doesn't have a say in this conjunction. Moon is just trying to find its happiness through something. Being conjunct these two planets shows that since birth, you have been bogged down with all sorts of rules, regulations, principles, religion, this, that, and you're trying to work your way through it. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of a Moon, Jupiter, Saturn conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your conjunction is placed, all my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.